Hello and welcome to the Business Briefing 101 show with me, Tabani Will Maleka. It's Thursday today. We are here at Mangaung City Hall in Bloemfontein, just to give you the reflection on what took place on Tuesday, where the Smme Indaba event took place right here at the City Hall, like in Bloemfontein. Now, the highlight of the event, as I'm going to explain to you, is that the purpose for the day is going to be explained by the Distia HOD, Ntate Nombulelo Nokwetu, who you will get many points and the reasons as to why all these businesses, more than 300 businesses, were invited to the event. So the highlight of our show today is the the purpose of the day, clearly explained by Dr. Nombulelo Nokwetu of Distia. And reflecting also, we managed to get a hold and speak to the one of the stakeholders of the event, Mr. Lerato Sibusiso Mokhitli from Free State Black Business Chamber. We managed to have a sit down with him, and then as you watch, you will get to hear from him what his position was, and his role in as far as bringing this event together is concerned. The other stakeholders of the event were Old Mutual was invited to the event as well, as well as Nedbank. And you will hear all the speakers who actually managed to also bring forth, their product and services as to how they actually form part of this event that actually took place here at Mangaung City Hall here in Bloemfontein. So just stay tuned to hear more on what actually happened here at the Smme Indaba event. Hello and welcome to the Business Briefing 101 show with me, Tabani Will Maleka. Today we are here at City Hall in Bloemfontein City. We have been invited here by the Free State Premier's Office, Distia, as well as the Free State Black Business Chamber. Now, they are hosting the Smme Indaba, where more than 300 businesses, 300 small businesses to be precise, have actually been invited to come and be part of the solution in as far as the challenges they face on the ground are concerned. So remember that SMMEs play a very pivotal role in the issue of job creation, in the issue of the revival of the economies. So the Premier's Office and Distia, as well as the Free State Black Business Chamber, have found it very crucial today to invite everyone under one roof here at the City Hall in Bloemfontein to come and have quite very in-depth discussions to find out the solutions that they face every day, to try to mitigate and find the solutions that can actually take their businesses forward. So we are going to be joined shortly by the Chief Operating Officer of Free State Black Business Chamber, Mr. Lerato Sibusiso Mokhitli, who is going to tell us a bit more about the purpose of the day today when we come back. Welcome back. As promised, we are now with the Chief Operating Officer of the Free State Black Business Chamber, Mr. Lerato Sibusiso Mokhitli, who's going to tell us briefly about the purpose of the day today. Mr. Mokhitli sits like on a very, like valid and very important position of assisting businesses, particularly, like small, like your SMMEs, with all their various needs, like on the ground. So he's going to tell us today, like why this SMME Indaba is crucial, and then, like why we are here today.
All right, Ndate Maleka, thank you very much.
Yes.
We've worked very hard to make this happen. We've been working since around last year, October, trying to make this event happen. Now, the SMME Indaba, we envision this event to be essentially a platform where SMMEs get information about what the government is doing, right? What plans are there in place. The nice thing is that we are just about close towards the elections, and we know that the new financial year has just started now, so there are those plans which are in place from the state side and private sector as well. So private sector has seen the increasing role that SMMEs play in growing the economy, right? Now, a lot of incentives, a lot of programs, a lot of funding schemes and so forth have been availed, right? But the problem is always access to this information. Now, the crucial thing about this Indaba is that we've invited SMMEs of all sizes, right? Whether you are large, you are medium, you are small, even informal, right? Because there are schemes for them as well, to come here and hear what's available to them and how they can get access to these things. Now, obviously, having access to this information, there will need to be those follow-ups and so on and so forth. That's where the stakeholders come in, like your Free State Business Chamber. That's where the other chambers as well come in. That's where your CEDA will come in and so forth, to ensure that whatever we start here, whatever incentives, whatever information we share is long-lasting, right? Yeah. So that's essentially the long and short of why we are having this Indaba on this day.
So the last one, we see here, like it's a collaboration of efforts between the Premier's office as well as the Distea, yes, including yourself, yes, like from the Free State Black Business Chamber body as well. What does that collaboration mean? How far does it go, like in as far as this Indaba is concerned?
Well, look, the relationships we've had with the public sector is long-lasting as well. We realize that you cannot be in business and not involve the state, right? Essentially from the regulatory standpoint, but also because the likes of Distea works directly with your small entities as well. Now, whatever they have going on, we need to know about so that our members can get access to, right? And not just the people that we have in our databases, but we spread the word far and wide, right? To ensure that that information is known. Premier's office also plays a crucial role. They ensure that the directive of the Free State government is seen, not only through Distea, but through the other departments as well. But the nice thing is that they can then coordinate all those other players within the state, and we can then work with them. And it's very essential. And from our side, we brought in your net bank, we brought in your open mutual as well, to ensure that the private sector side is also heard.
100%. Mr. Mokhitli, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And then it's like we'll see you during the day.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not.
No, thank you. Thank you. And that was the Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Lerato Sibusiso Mokhitli of Free State Black Business Chamber, just telling us about, like the purpose of the day. It is still early in the morning. Like the event is yet about to start. We're still expecting the arrival of the Free State, we're still waiting for the arrival of the Premier as well as the Distea MEC, both Ndate Dukwana as well as Ndate Thabo Mekwa from the Premier's office as well as the Distea consecutively. And then just stay tuned. There's still a lot to discuss. There's a lot to learn, today. So just stay tuned. In the meantime, remember to subscribe and follow our pages on YouTube channel. We are Business Window Magazine Podcast. On Facebook channel, we are Business Window Magazine, and then on TikTok, we are also Business Window Magazine. And then we'll keep walking this journey with you today. Now, as you can see, we are now, like inside, like City Hall, where the event is going to take place. So, like businesses and everyone else who has actually been invited, like still, like making their arrival, finding their seats, finding their places, that have actually been allocated to them. So, as we have already mentioned, this Smme Indaba, as you already heard from the Chief Operating Officer of the Free State Black Business Chamber, Mr. Lerato Mkhitli. It is going to be an in-depth discussion amongst the Office of the Premier, the DSTIA, as well as there's like the businesses at all levels that have actually been invited here today to really find solutions that they face to the challenges that they face, like on regular basis, like in as far as job creation is concerned, in as far as the growth and the sustainability of local economies is concerned. So stay with us today as we move along, and we will definitely bring you all the news that are going to happen today, and then like stay tuned. Welcome again, everyone. So as we have already mentioned, that small businesses, that have already, that have been made part of this Smme Indaba as well. Invitations were sent out, and like as you can see, everyone responded. All levels of businesses are here today. So we're just going to speak to one gentleman who's going to introduce himself, and then he's going to tell us what his expectations are, from his business perspective, and then we will see, like how the day goes as we move along. Ndati, how are you today?
Fine, yourself?
I'm good. Just please tell us, just tell us your name. Tell us, how have you been invited today, and then what you expect from the event today.
Oh, my name is Smme Indaba. I'm from Tabanchu. My company is Play Parade. Then we're here for getting information.
Yes.
My name is Smme Indaba. I'm from Tabanchu. My business is to Italy. Then I'm here to get information from business.
Cool. No, that was it. So this is just one business from Ntate here, and then we will talk to other businesses as the day goes by. Thank you.
You may be seated. As we are starting our program, my name is Pumla Mweza. I am an official from the Department of Economic, Small Business Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. I'm happy to see you all here. I'm happy to see the familiar faces here because in that department, part of our mandate is to assist the SMEs. So I'm happy that at least maybe 60% to 70% of people that I'm seeing here are the people that have engaged once in my lifetime at the office. Thank you very much. Some few announcements before we start the program. As you enter the hall, welcome to be seated. On your right hand side, there are doors that are open. When you exit on the right door, you'll get some ablution facilities, as well as on the left hand side, there are some ablution facilities. To the representatives right here with me at the stage, say, as you take the right hand side exit, you will get the gents ablution facilities. You exit to your left hand side, you will get the ladies ablution facilities. That will be the announcements for now. Ashes, as and when the people are coming through, there are some seats in front here. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are welcoming you, I would like to call upon on stage. I cannot welcome you better than the acting CEO of the FSGLTA from the Free State Province to come and welcome us so that we can then be free and be able to take the jackets off. And I think now, this time around, thank you. I would like to welcome on stage Ndateli Fakalana to provide us with a welcoming note. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. I can guess what I say. Honorable Premier, the Free State Black Business Chamber, where the Bilbati, the where the Bilba All Mutual, where the Bilba Net Bank, the SME Tos, Zikaha and Winner. CPOP sa Popanena, Kyor Popan and the SMEs, really push for your Free State. Well, always the discussions, but over the robust discussions. Kadi Pempid, Zeto Banani the SMEs. The ordinary interventions that go as government, or the discussions that go to Banzo, and I give the fee. Le amohetse kopano ena re kopa hore SME e nngwe le e nngwe e hlahise ditaba tsa teng diphephetso tsa teng le boele le participate discussion tsa kasheno hore re tle re kgone ho fana ka di-intervention as puso ya Free State ka ho ke re le amohetswe ha re re participate in discussion ke a leboha.
Really going to get money. Kaur amuhela ntlong enana. Hape ke kaur futhatsa hore SMEs re tlo bana le discussions. And the discussion elements, let's participate and ensure that re batla ho bona hore province ena yona ka economy ya teng, how are we going to stimulate it so that it can be able to contribute to the economy of the province. I would like to welcome on stage Hlogo ya Lefapha Ntate Nombulelo Nokweku hore a ka re lefantha mohlomong ntse re ile ya hanyane. However, Dr. Mbulelo Nokweku will then be able to elaborate further on the purpose of today. Why are we here today? Why the department and the partners of the department, they have invited us to convene. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Mbulelo Nokweku.
Thanks, Program Director, Honorable Premier, guests, Bob Marco and Bob Rafael. but let me quickly deal with a few issues. The Program Director, and Honorable Premier, we have called this gathering here today to deal with a few issues. We don't want this to be a talking session. We are not here to address you as business owners, but rather for us to craft strategies on how we would like to grow the economy. Jobs are created by yourselves. Of course, government plays an important role in creating that conducive environment within which that growth can happen. We can't have that engagement by ourselves as government. And hence, we are meeting the way we are meeting today. But to set the scene, Honorable Premier, let me just highlight a few issues that will put into context why this type of engagement is quite urgent, and some may say overdue. Stats SA has recently released the 2024 quarter labor force survey, and that report makes for a worrying read. The official unemployment rate has increased from 37%, that is in the Free State, in quarter 4 of 2023 to 38% in quarter 1 of 2024. So the 1 percentage point increase. But if you look at those figures, if you do a year-on-year comparison, if you look at quarter 1 2023, we were at 34%, we are now at 38%, which is about an increase of 3%, 3.6%. In absolute numbers, we have recorded 908,000 people in quarter 1 of 2024 who were not in employment, education or training. And this represents about 8.9% increase year on year. That is comparing quarter 1 2023 and quarter 1 2024. These figures indicate that the community and social services experienced the highest losses in employment, both quarterly and annually. However, we have sectors that have shown increase in employment on a quarterly basis, and these are trade, manufacturing, and private households. Now, Honorable Premier, if there are green shoots in the trade and manufacturing sector, it will mean that our economy is moving in the right direction in the context that the right sectors of the economy are growing. And which is why the theme of today's gathering is Together Growing and Transforming the Free State economy. Because we want to see sectors such as manufacturing and agriculture contributing more in our economy. Just quickly, you would remember that the President Cyril Ramaphosa announced the Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan after in the wake of COVID-19, but also as a long-term strategy to revitalize our economy. Amongst others, sectors such as energy, manufacturing, tourism, and with a particular focus on reindustrializing the economy and engendering localization, are part of those that are being implemented. So, to achieve what we have thus outlined, that cannot happen without a robust SMME sector, which, as you know, is at the fulcrum of the success of all these interventions. Recently, the Department of Small Business Development has published a master plan which is called National Integrated Small Enterprise Development Strategy, NISED, whose purpose, amongst others, is to pull together all these SME support strategies into one. When you need assistance, the NISED seeks to pull everything together so that as SMEs, it's a one-stop shop. I go to one place, I get the assistance that I need. That type of master plan is important because currently, Honorable Premier, the type of interventions that we are doing as government are too fragmented. The NISED seeks to pull, because in any case, funding for all these interventions come from the same fiscus. So there's no need for all of these to be fragmented. So that's part of the intervention that's already been implemented. I think there's a bill that went to Parliament to establish, to basically consolidate CEDA and CIFA into one entity so that we then are able to get the assistance that we want. But not all is doom and gloom. As a province, we recently held an investment conference from which a number of pledges were made. And it came out that Free State has become the center or the hub for renewable energy. Just quickly, out of that engagement, there were quite a number of pledges that were made, and some of these renewable energy projects are not just pledges, but they are at construction stage. I'll give an example. Currently, there's a 200 megawatts solar PV project that's under construction outside Virginia by a company called Solar Group, and that's a project of approximately 2.8 billion. There's another project by Red Rocket. Red Rocket already has a renewable project in Clarence, the hydro project there. They are going to be building another one, a renewable project out in Machabe. It's a 275 megawatts plant worth about 3 billion. And there's another one in Macedonia for 100 megawatts. And Security Green is also finalizing a number of projects. So you can see that in terms of capital formation, the Free State is getting there, and we would want to see you as Free State enterprises benefiting in those projects. So, in short, we are saying that as Free State SMEs, we want you to be playing an important role in growing the economy. But as government, we have all the strategies that I've touched on earlier. And we are saying that some of those issues cannot happen if we plan in isolation outside what we would want to see. The NISED master plan that I referred to as an example went under extensive consultation processes, Honorable Premier, where we held workshops, organized business formations, were part of it. So we want to take forward that spirit to say, yes, we are creating jobs. Our indicators, as I explained earlier, are not going in the right direction. And we think that you are the solution to creating these jobs and turning the tide against the job losses. In conclusion, we call on all of you to join hands with the Free State provincial government to aggressively come up with intervention strategies that will ensure that we grow the economy, we create jobs, and we reduce poverty and inequality. We wish you a very engaging discussions today, and we hope that you will participate and make sure that we come up with proposals that will take us where we want to go. We have colleagues who are here. When we get to the point where we discuss the item on discussions, they will be recording the discussions, they will be taking your inputs, and we would want to make a commitment, Honorable Premier, that we would have this type of engagement on a quarterly basis for two purposes. One, to assess the progress that we've made as we engage and the impact that we are making. But secondly, to be able to say, these are the new challenges that emerge in the economy. Collectively, what is it that we can do to stand to those challenges? With those few words, we thank you, and I hope that sets the scene and the context of why we are here today. Thank you, Program Director.
Why we are here today, and thank you very much, Ishudi, for making an emphasis of understanding that as SMMEs, we are the solution of our economic development in the province. Renali Dr. Sindiswa Mzamo here. Dr. Sindiswa Mzamo is playing quite a number of roles to ensure that the SMMEs are being supported, either non-financial, financial, taking them to different platforms, communicating with our international team, international markets. So udeng he me Sindiswa Mzamo today, utlobua le lona ne ke kopa re mfe sebaka ke a leboha.
Dr. Nimral Reddy, Ms. Tina Sibuse, the NCOP Chief Whip, and Ndate President. Free State is my home. I was here, I think, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. I'm the former Treasurer General of Black Business Council. We launched the Free State BBC, Ndate President. So today, it is indeed an honor for me to be here and also to acknowledge our brother that did the welcome address and our own mutual representative and the HOD. I think for me, what is important is actually the role of women in the economy. But we start with you. Who are you as a woman? What do you represent? What makes you think to wake up in the morning? Because government can create opportunities. If you are not ready for that opportunity, we are not going anywhere. And today, it's a great opportunity for us, Basadi, to say that thank you to the provincial government, thank you to our stakeholders, which is Nedbank, Old Mutual, collaboration is the new innovation. Collaboration is the new competition. Harimona, what can we do to support women in terms of women empowerment? But we know that government has done a lot. Kunali initiative, it's a Women Economic Assembly. And Dadera Maposa, the president of South Africa, is actually championing that initiative. Iriona, when we speak about procurement, the 40% procurement bill, 40% must go to women in the government departments. Even the private sector, Naki Kupatwarelo, Old Mutual Union Bank, Naki Hatetika Enterprise Development, Iskabuanga contracts, because women don't want enterprise, don't want to be development, give them contracts. Let's change this whole thing in the private sector of talking about enterprise development. The next thing, you send women to go and do courses, mentorship programs. When they finish that incubation program, there's no contract. And today I'm glad you are here as partners to the Free State government. Let's change the narrative. As what the HOD was saying, to say, let us actually work together, because the ecosystem is wide. The ecosystem targets a woman. But how do we come together in a collaborative effort and approach this single woman in terms of grant system, in terms of blended finance? Blended finance is the most powerful tool that changes the role of a woman or the role of an entrepreneur.
Amongst us, I would like to, as we proceed with our program, amongst us, I would like to welcome the Director General of the province, Ndade Radigonzana. Welcome, Ndade. Thank you.
However, we do have to remain relevant to the economy and understand that not everybody can actually meet a list of requirements. So we very much are active in the space of blended finance, in the space of doing things differently, and in the space of collaborating and creating opportunities to make sure that we're walking a journey together, because it really is a journey. Your needs from a bank here and now will be very different in a month or in a couple of months' time. God willing that everything is going according to plan in terms of where you want your business to grow. You are going to be constantly evolving and growing. So it's never about being stagnant, it's about constantly growing. And we as a bank really want and really feel that we're walking that journey. So being a bank, we do rely on external and programs and organizations that are operating in sectors such as agriculture, organizations that have established track record, that have shown that they have successfully helped other businesses, other entrepreneurs to their own sustainability and success. So we partner with those organizations together with other stakeholders and role players, and that's what collaboration is all about. And we plan and co-create a program with clear objectives so that we're all aligned and we're all working towards the common goal. And as NetBank, we're acknowledging that in all of this, you are extremely important. Thank you very much.
Take the inputs to reflect on what has already been said. Only 4 on the floor, only 4 on the floor for now. We will be further going on with our program, and the element whereby the lunch is going to be served, that is where we are going to take another inputs on the discussion element. Okay, so I'm going to start taking inputs. I'll take inputs from Old Mutual first. After Old Mutual, I'll ask FSBBC to give us an input, reflection, just a minute or two, and then after, enough hop in front, here by me, and then I'll go to the floor. Please, let's cooperate. I only need, from the floor, I only need 4 for now. That is only for now. Then we'll proceed to the keynote address. We'll proceed to the remarks of the keynote address, and then we will take the other inputs after. Okay?
So if we meet to Tswana ka hola and Datona Ushwale Mona. Bitzola Silas Luane, and we are absolutely humbled to have this privilege of presenting our opposition. Let me observe the protocol and acknowledge our Honorable Premier, Dade Dukwana, and we also appreciate and acknowledge our DG, certainly our HOD, and all our partners. Mega ukhetheha, re acknowledge lona, bommel bontate ba kgwebo. So I'm going to talk to you briefly about Masisizane. So Masisizane is a fund, ya usually, and Morero, its objective is to ensure that we develop small businesses. We develop small businesses. And of course, we want the small businesses to mature from development to commercialization. And with the clear appreciation of what it requires for the business to grow from small to be a giant corporation. Now, we know that there are challenges. Firstly, it starts with the product, isn't it? Once you have a product, ordinarily, the environment is highly competitive, and many of you have worked extremely hard to produce those products. And effectively, there is talent, there is a sense of innovation and creativity among you, which is highly commendable. To see many of our black fellows unleashing their talent and their creativity, of course, ultimately presenting their products to the market. And we are here to support you, to be specific. Now, once you have the marketing strategy, more business in your house, you need access to market, and that's the essence. And those are the principles of commercialization. Now, what is our role? Jwalo usually resebedisa fund yena ya Masisizane ho targeta dikgwebo tsena tse nyenyane. Re black owned, 2, they must be rural, urban, and township based. Akere la criteria here. They must be rural, urban, and township based. So our criteria is clear in that respect. Halala, usually halala.
Business key. Kina tshepa ho fumana karabo tse fapaneng tse ngata. Hona le batho ba nang le o aba ke ne ke batla fela hore ke bue dintho tsena tse tharo ho phediseng dintho tsena. Economy tse ding tsa dinaha tse ding di dependa haholo ho borakgwebo hore moruo wa naha tseo o tswelle. Re kile ra ba karolo ya tse ding tse ne tse re dietela tsa mofuta o. Now, my second issue, and so ne ke batla ho etsa boipiletso ho rona hore ha re kene ntweng ya ho ba borakgwebo ba bannete ba phethahetseng. Ona ntho bohloko jwalo ka hore o be rakgwebo for 12 months, ka mora 12 months o se again. So ha re be borakgwebo ba ha re kene kgwebo e be o kene kgwebo, the best or the least you can do ke o tlohe kgwebo e o no le ho yona mpo hole ho yena. I have a story to tell. This man tells me o startile a taxi operator. Hansa di taxi na ba hlokomela hore ba taxi se di tsa petrol e ngata. Aba tloela taxi a itse aba le filling station o ra rekisa petrol. Hansa di taxi na ba hlokomela hore mara batho ba distributor petrol ka di-tankers ba bangata ke kgomo e kgolo haholo mme wa e tseba ntate a etsang lesotho a ba kena a ba ya nthong eo so o tshwanetse ha o le rakgwebo o be innovative o shebe menyetla o ska dula mo o leng teng fela o shebe hore ha o le mona o batla ho ya mona o tshwanetse o ye ka keneng ntweng ya go ba borakgwebo re hodise dikgwebo tsa rona hantle re shebane le issues tsa compliance ke eme mona ke emetse Free State Black Business Chamber ke ntse ke tlo le bitsa re tlo sebedisana ka dintho tsa go tlosa kgwebo mona ho isa mane gore na o tshwanetse ho etse ho sebetsana le dintho tsa bo SARS ho sebetsana le dintho tse ding tse etsang gore kgwebo e hole because ha re sebedisana re eletsana ho na le gore la e tlo ya teng. So on that note, I thank you.
Thank you, Moderation. Thank you very much. Next.
Honorable Tate Dukwani, Tate Adikonzani Wakiji, HOD, Tate Nobeku, fellow panelists, and fellow members of organized business. I would be wrong, Honorable Program Director, if I don't mention this one before I start with my things. As NAFCOC, we are in a period of mourning after the passing of our founder president, Smme Indaba, who was the longest serving president of NAFCOC and also a founder of African Bank. And one idea into the element of now what can assist the growth of business is that Smme at his time found it fit, or there needs to be a bank that is owned and controlled by the marginalized, the blacks, and those that do not have access to funding. Unfortunately, 60 years down the line, the situation is still the same. Access to funding for our businesses is still an elusive idea. And one of my former presidents once said that economy cannot grow without ownership of capital or banks. That remains a pipe dream. We cannot continue operating in an atmosphere where areas where we reside in, economy is not and unfortunately, and I have to applaud the department because we have, for a couple of years, we've been running this thing. And finally, the legislature has adopted a bill. Now, we had to wait for 3-4 years for this to happen. But as an organization, we are saying we cannot wait any longer for the economy to return to those who reside in the locations. So, but there are a lot of things that we can do, that we should do. But I just want to mention one or two of those. I think we can just maybe expand a little bit more on some of the things. Thank you.
Hello everyone, it's Tabani Will Malika here on your show, Business Briefing 101. We are here at Smme Indaba, here at City Hall in Bloemfontein. I'm here again with the Chief Operation Officer of the Free State Black Business Chamber, Mr. Lerato Sibusiso, who's going to tell us, what he actually makes of, all the comments, all the engagements, that have already taken place. So he's going to tell us what his view is on all the questions, that have actually been raised during the procession of the event. Some of the businesses are not happy with how, the government department is running their business, in as far as assisting the business is concerned. So we're just going to have a small chat briefly with Mr. Lerato to tell us what his take is on the proceedings today. So,
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes.
You know what? It's always important to engage business owners themselves, because sometimes what even us as a chamber have done in the past, as a mistake, I'll add, is that we do research, desktop research. We find what trends in the business world in terms of what problems are out there, and we then try to come up with interventions that we think up on our own. But engagement such as this give us a better indication of what people are dealing with day to day. As you've heard with the questions that people can basically state, I've been working for this long. I've been, bootstrapping, trying on my own. I've been able to get to this point. But I know for me to grow, I will need certain help, certain types of help, whether it be funding, whether it be loans, whether it be grants, whatever it may be. Sometimes it may not necessarily be help in the form of money, mentorship, guidance, and those things are very important, right? And with platforms such as this is where we can have such a discussion to understand what are the needs of business, right? And then not only try to come up with things, but partner with them, hold hands with them to say, these are the things that we are thinking of introducing, right? Or these are the things that we may already have in place, but maybe there's a disconnect between the help that you need versus what we've already placed in the market. So let's find ways to help each other, help us as private sector to be able to, tailor these things to your specific needs, and let us help you in terms of being able to comply to the things that we already have, right? And all these partnerships are essential because each of us play a different role. The government plays a certain role through the agencies as well, like the stayers and your NEFs and the DFIs and that, right? Us as a chamber play a different role as well in terms of organizing black business, particularly. You have your banks here, you have Old Mutual, who has the Masisizane Fund, right, which was created out of the need to fund black businesses mainly. And we have NetBank, who predominantly play in the informal sector, right, which are very crucial things. So these engagements are a place where we can have such rife discussions, and I'm very glad that we've had the state be able to say their piece, we've been able to say our piece as a chamber, and the banks as well have been able to say their piece, so that at least there's a mutual understanding amongst everybody what each one's role is and how they play.
Dr. Dukwana, like our premier, he mentioned something very, very important in terms of small businesses collaborating. He mentioned that, particularly, like us as black people, we are not able to come together and support each other. What do you make of that?
That's true. As a matter of fact, not to bloviate and try to raise the banner of the chamber too much, but the foundation of the chamber was basically that, right? To say black business predominantly, we don't work with each other. And that's where, when you think of group economics, we are left behind. Afrikaners or whoever in the agricultural space, they work as pets. In the informal sector, your spaza shop owners, your wholesalers, who may predominantly be of East Asian cultures, they group together, which makes it easier for them. If I own a spaza, I go to somebody I know who can give me cheaper prices, right? Which means if another person who's a competitor, who's not of our ilk and who's not from the same culture, comes into the same market in the same area, they have other wholesalers who sell to everybody, right? And their prices may be a bit higher, meaning that whatever I sell, and when you sell the same thing, my prices are higher than yours, right? Which kind of kicks me out of the market. And when you start to organize business, right, and to create these links, to create these value chains amongst black business who have a thorough understanding of each other's needs, then you start to find a situation where the economy within each locality around the Free State can be able to grow, right? All the informal players can be able to see a growth in what they do, the formalized ones as well, right? And through this, we are basically able to attract more rents into our local economies, into our value chains, and that rent can circulate a lot more before it leaves. And in that way, we are creating wealth within ourselves.
That was Mr. Lerato Sibusiso Mokgweetli of Free State Black Business Chamber. He's the Chief Operating Officer of the chamber here in the Free State. My name is Tabane Wolamaleka. The day, like still very long. We are just taking a break. There's still more to come. There will still be more that we, come back and report, to you. So just tune in. In the meantime, just follow us on, YouTube. Our name there is, our channel name there is Business Window Magazine Podcast, and then on, our Facebook channel is Business Window Magazine, and on TikTok we are also Business Window Magazine. Stay tuned. There's still more to come when we come back. That's how we come to the end of our part one today, our first episode of the event. There's going to be part two, that is coming to follow, where the Free State Premier Ntate Dukwana and Ntate Mkolisi Dukwana will be covering all the important aspects of the event, as well as touching more on the on the importance of collaboration, particularly amongst the small businesses. So remember to follow our pages on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And then on YouTube we are Business Window Magazine Podcast. On Facebook we are Business Window Magazine, and on TikTok we are Business Window Magazine. Just tune in tomorrow, where you will catch the last part of the Indaba, of the Smme Indaba event that took place on Tuesday. Until then, keep well.
Do I